The fragile nature of illusions. Illusions surround us. The illusion that more will make us happy. The illusion that control is possible. The illusion that tomorrow is guaranteed. But illusions are fragile. They break the moment we dare to look at life as it is. Welcome back to Stoic Wellspring. Today, we strip away the fog of appearances and face the truth beneath. Are you ready to end the illusion? Clarity as freedom. Illusions are comforting. They let us believe life is simpler, safer, more certain than it really is. But illusions also keep us trapped, chasing shadows, mistaking appearances for truth, and suffering when reality inevitably breaks through. The Stoics taught that clarity is freedom. When we see life as it is, without distortion, we suffer less and live more. In this video, we will explore 8 Stoic lessons to end the illusions that cloud our vision and to walk through life with eyes wide open. Part 1. The illusion of control. We think control brings safety, but life always slips beyond our grasp. The first illusion is control. We build plans, set goals, and arrange life as if it were a machine we could program. But reality is alive, unpredictable, and indifferent to our commands. When storms hit, when others change, when fortune shifts, our illusion of control shatters. The Stoics reminded us that what belongs to us is not the world, but our response to it. Epictetus once taught in his discourses, "Some things are in our control, and some are not. If you think you can control what is not yours, you will be hindered. If you accept what is yours, your choices, your judgments, then no one can restrain you." Consider modern life. We obsess over emails, deadlines, relationships, markets, believing we can bend them all to our will. Yet one message, one accident, one crisis proves how fragile that belief is. The lesson is not despair, but focus. When we let go of controlling the uncontrollable, we discover the true power of mastering ourselves. Part 2. The illusion of endless time. We live as if tomorrow is guaranteed, forgetting that life is always slipping away. The second illusion is endless time. We act as if tomorrow will always come, as if youth, health, and opportunity wait patiently for us. But every day is already a page turned, never to return. The Stoics kept the image of death close, not to depress themselves, but to awaken to life. Seneca once wrote in his letters to Lucilius, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Life is long, if you know how to use it." The danger is not that life denies us years, but that we squander the ones already in our hands. Think of how often we delay what matters. We postpone forgiveness, push aside joy, and say someday to our deepest callings. But someday is not a day on any calendar. Clarity begins when we strip away this illusion. The truth is, you do not own tomorrow. You only hold today. And if you live today fully, even one day can be enough. Part 3. The illusion of external validation. We chase approval as if it defines us. Forgetting worth is an inner measure. The third illusion is external validation. From childhood, we are taught to seek praise from parents, teachers, employers, strangers online. We begin to believe that applause equals worth, and silence equals failure. But this illusion leaves us enslaved to the shifting moods of others. Marcus Aurelius once wrote in his Meditations, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." The emperor himself saw the trap. To build your identity on applause is to live in constant hunger. Consider today's world. Social media trains us to count likes, comments, followers, mistaking numbers for meaning. Yet the approval of the crowd is as fleeting as wind. True strength comes when you stop outsourcing your worth. The Stoic path is not indifference to people, but freedom from their judgment. When you measure yourself by virtue, you no longer beg the world for recognition, you embody it. Part 4. The illusion of possessions. We mistake ownership for security, forgetting that nothing material truly belongs to us. The fourth illusion is possessions. We work tirelessly to acquire more: houses, cars, clothes, devices, believing that each item adds weight to our identity. But possessions are not anchors. They are chains when clung to too tightly. Fortune gives and fortune takes, and what you think you own can be gone in an instant. Epictetus once warned in his Enchiridion, "Never say of anything, 'I have lost it,' but 'I have returned it.' Is your child dead? It is returned. Is your property taken? that too is returned. His point was not cruelty, but clarity. Nothing is truly yours but your will and your character. History shows this vividly. Entire empires, Egypt, Rome, Byzantium, rose with wealth and crumbled despite it. The treasure rooms of kings now lie in museums, stripped of power. And in our time, think of financial crashes. Fortunes built over decades vanish in days, reminding us how fragile ownership is. On a personal level, imagine someone clinging to their luxury car, terrified of scratches, obsessing over insurance, polishing it daily. The car does not serve them. They serve the car. Contrast that with the Stoic who uses what they have with gratitude, yet remains ready to release it when the time comes. True wealth is not in the things you guard, but in the freedom to live unburdened. Part 5. The illusion of permanent relationships. We cling to people as if they will never change or leave, forgetting all bonds are fragile. The fifth illusion is permanent relationships. We imagine that the people we love will always remain unchanged at our side. Yet, life is motion, and people, like rivers, are never the same from one moment to the next. Friends drift apart, lovers grow distant, even families fracture under the weight of time. To cling to permanence in relationships is to invite heartbreak at every turn. Marcus Aurelius once reminded himself in his meditations, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, and say, and think." This was not only about death, but about the impermanence of all human bonds. If even your own life is uncertain, how much more fragile are the ties that connect it? History illustrates this with brutal clarity. Consider Alexander the Great, surrounded by loyal generals in life. But after his death, his empire was torn apart by the very men who once swore eternal brotherhood. Or think of modern celebrity friendships, celebrated in headlines today, shattered in betrayal tomorrow. On a personal level, recall the heartbreaks we all know. The childhood friend we lost touch with. The partner who promised forever but changed. The colleague who once shared our path but moved on. Pain arises not from their leaving, but from our illusion that they could stay forever. The Stoic lesson is not to love less, but to love wisely. To embrace each moment of connection as a gift, not a guarantee. When you release the illusion of permanence, you begin to cherish relationships more deeply, because you see them for what they truly are: fleeting, fragile, and therefore infinitely precious. Part 6. The illusion of reputation. We think a name will outlast us, forgetting how quickly the world forgets. The sixth illusion is reputation. We labor endlessly to protect our image, to be respected, admired, remembered. We act as if a polished name will grant us immortality. Yet the truth is harsh. Memory is short, and even the greatest are soon forgotten. Marcus Aurelius once reflected in his meditations, "Consider how quickly all things are dissolved. The bodies in the grave, the memory of them in those who remain, and the things themselves." His reminder was simple. Fame is smoke, carried away by the winds of time. History is littered with once great names, now reduced to footnotes. Think of the emperors of Rome. Who remembers the hundreds of rulers after Augustus? Or the mighty generals of forgotten wars? Even in the modern world, celebrities who dominate headlines today fade into obscurity tomorrow, replaced by the next name, the next scandal, the next trend. On a personal level, many people exhaust themselves chasing titles at work, curating their online persona, or ensuring their legacy is admired. Yet reputations are not in our control. A single rumor, a shift in culture, or the simple passage of time can erase decades of effort. The Stoics taught that only virtue endures. If your character is noble, it matters little whether the crowd remembers your name. Better to be forgotten as a good person than remembered as a hollow one. When you strip away the illusion of reputation, you are free to live for truth, not applause. Part 7. The illusion of certainty. We crave certainty in a shifting world, forgetting that change is the only constant. The seventh illusion is certainty. We want to believe the ground beneath us is firm, that careers will last, relationships will endure, health will remain, and plans will unfold just as we imagined. Yet life has never promised certainty. It offers only change. To demand otherwise is to argue with the nature of reality. Heraclitus, though not a Stoic but often echoed by them, once observed in his fragments philosophical writings, "No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river, and he's not the same man." The Stoics embraced this insight. Permanence is a mirage, while change is the essence of life. History again makes the lesson sharp. the Titanic was hailed as unsinkable. Yet it sank on its very first voyage. In 2008, financial systems thought to be secure collapsed overnight. Even entire nations, built with centuries of pride, have vanished from maps. Certainty is the greatest illusion human beings cling to. On the personal level, think of the moments when we assumed stability. A secure job suddenly lost. A healthy body struck by illness. A marriage thought unbreakable, ending in divorce. Each shock feels like betrayal. But it is not life betraying us. It is our illusion of certainty betraying us. The Stoic response is not despair, but adaptability. Epictetus urged his students to train like wrestlers, always ready for whatever opponent arrives in the ring. To live without the illusion of certainty is not to give up. It is to become supple, resilient, and prepared for whatever form life takes. In the absence of certainty, we find true steadiness. Part 8. The illusion of the self. We cling to a fixed identity, forgetting the self is always shifting and never truly ours. The final illusion is the self. We speak as if I is solid, permanent, unchanging. We defend our opinions as though they define us, cling to our past as though it determines us, and project into the future as though it guarantees us. But what we call the self is not a fixed statue. It is a river, flowing, shifting, and dissolving with time. Marcus Aurelius once wrote in his Meditations, "A man's life is what his thoughts make of it." Notice, not what he is, but what he thinks. The emperor himself recognized that the self is an activity, not a possession. Across philosophy, this truth echoes. The Buddhists called the self an illusion, a bundle of perceptions constantly changing. Modern psychology agrees. Your personality shifts with age, experience, even biology. The you of today is not the you of yesterday, nor the you of tomorrow. History is full of figures who clung too tightly to an identity, only to be broken by it. Monarchs who thought themselves divine fell when their crowns were removed. Intellectuals who believed themselves infallible were silenced by a single mistake. And in our time, people build rigid personal brands online, only to collapse when life no longer fits the image. The Stoic lesson is liberation. If the self is not fixed, then you are free to grow, to change, to release the burdens of past mistakes and future anxieties. You are not a single mask, but the actor behind it, able to choose a new role each day. When you let go of the illusion of the self, you step into the deepest clarity that you are not what you cling to, but the space in which life unfolds. Pause now. Let the noise of illusions fall silent. Ask yourself, which illusions still bind me? Control, time, possessions, reputation, certainty, or even the self. What pain have I carried because I mistook shadows for truth? And what freedom might I discover if I dared to see life exactly as it is? Eight illusions: control, endless time, external validation, possessions, permanent relationships, reputation, certainty, and the self. Each one promises comfort, but delivers chains. The Stoic path is not about rejecting life, but about seeing it clearly, and in that clarity, finding freedom. Marcus Aurelius once wrote in his Meditations, "If you strip away the labels, the stories, the judgments, you will see things for what they are. And in that lies peace." His wisdom remains. Reality itself is never the enemy, only our illusions about it. If this reflection has helped you see more clearly, share it with someone still trapped in shadows. If you're ready to strip away illusions and live with clear eyes, join us here at Stoic Wellspring, where each step is a step into freedom. Be well, be still, be free.